Hey everybody, so I'm going to make a quick video about how to use GitHub to retrieve previously saved versions of your code, previous commits that you've made in your code. As a quick reminder, the entire point of Git and GitHub is to save progress in your code so that we can eventually go back to it. Well, one, so you can share it with others, but then two, so that you could actually go back to your code and find working versions of your code. So if something breaks later on, we could go back to a previous version and just access that code. So it's kind of like my metaphor for that would be like, or analogy, I guess, would be like a save game, a save in a video game. So I don't think they have this in a lot of games these days, but it used to be that you could have like multiple save files for one game. And so when you completed a certain part, or you got to like a fork in the road in the game, you want to either go left or go right, you could save the game there, and then maybe if you go left and it doesn't work out, you could just retrieve the old save game and go right. And that's basically what we're doing in our code. That's what we're doing with commits, is making those kind of save points that we can then refer to later. Okay, so that's the point of Git, and now I'm going to show you how to actually access that. So if we go into, there's multiple different ways of using Git and GitHub. There is basically, I would say there's two versions. There's either using a text-based or there's using an interface, kind of like a GUI. They're just different. More professional people will typically use mostly the terminal, the actual text-based version. I use kind of a mix of both because I think that's what's easiest for me. So that's what I'm going to try and teach you through in this video. We're going to go to desktop.github, and we're going to download download GitHub Desktop for your operating system. When you download it, you'll have to make sure that you link your account so they know kind of which one's which. And then I think the opening page might be a little bit, you probably get like a box on the screen that says like, one of the options is going to be add local repository. So basically, if you are creating a file, especially for us, because we create a lot of things from GitHub Classroom, it creates a repository, a collection of code on your computer already. So there already is a repository on your computer. It's just a matter of getting GitHub Desktop to link to that repository. And so what we can do here is we can go into add local repository, and we just need to browse to find where our code is located at. Where's our code being saved at? If you're not sure where it's being saved at, if you open up your computer, open up your actual code, we could right click on a file, and then there should be some option here based on whether you're in Windows or in Mac. It should be roughly the same, but I could do like reveal and file explorer on Windows, and it's going to show me the exact location where this thing is. And so what I can do here is I can actually just copy this entire path, select all, Control C, and then inside of GitHub Desktop, my add local repository, this is the path. I hit add, and now I'm going to see my code. This is the active repository. And I can look through, if I make any changes to my code, I could commit them here rather than committing them in VS Code. But I can also check my history to see what kind of things I've done already. So for example, if we want to go back to see my initial commit, I can two-finger click on this and hit revert changes and commit. And that will reset my code back to whatever version is in here. Okay, so using that, we can retrieve old versions of our code and hopefully, and use Git a little bit more meaningfully. So I hope that's helpful.